Hello everyone, let's have ourselves a chat. I'm John from Rusty Chains, and today our chat is asking the main thing on everyone's mind. Is Payday 3 worthy successor to Payday 2? The juggernaut of the co-op space for the last 10 years. Well, let's take a look. First up is the UI. It works in mysterious ways. Working with the weapons first, buying them is just strange. Firstly, you have to open the inventory and buy a slot. Fine. But buying a weapon in that slot then brings you to the separate vendor menu, and you have to go all the way back to the inventory after that to work with the gun. It isn't like Payday 2 where you just do the whole thing right there. Going to the weapons vendor, it is just in complete disarray. The weapons are sorted only by the level you unlock them. Weapon type and category are all strewn all over there. Primary and secondary mixed together. Once you buy them, you can't sell or discard weapons from the first few slots, but that's never denoted. And modding weapons is just a mess. There are no stats, it's just these stupid fucking bars. Why are these back? Everybody hated them in Payday 2, and they had to be removed, so why bring them back? It's like they saw something of quality and decided to revert it. The heist selection screen is similarly bad. Why are all the heists laid out in a horizontal scroll wheel? There's better ways to get a timeline across. We know they're obviously going to add more heists over time. With no way to sort heists by contractor, are we just expected to scroll further and further with each new heist? The map of New York is right there on screen during the selection. Why not at least pin the contracts to the corresponding locations so we can just click them easily when all laid out? The inventory UI is also a major step down. You can't move or drop guns in the inventory, you can't rename them, and you can't rename your builds either. You also can't rename masks or skill sets. The armor UI is a complete joke because it withholds critical information. There are 4 types of armor in Payday 3, each granting an additional plate of armor. What is never explained to the player anywhere is that they change how many times you can go down depending on which armor you're using. The lightest armor lets you go down 4 times, the 2 medium let you have 3 drops, and you can only go down twice with the heaviest armor. Again, this is critical information when build crafting, and it's just never given to the player, ever, similar to the weapon stats. The party system is goofy, because there's no indication as a host that somebody's joined your party. You just have to watch it and hope you notice the tiny counter at the bottom of the screen go up. When you get into a lobby, you have precisely 5 minutes. If you ready up, there's no way to unready. You are restricted. So you can't go back and change if anybody else joins with different equipment. You can't change what assets you're bringing or any of that. They also straight up lie about party settings. People can still join invite-only sessions through your Steam profile. There is objectively no way to play Payday 3 solo if you want to right now. In general, the equipment is messy in co-op UI because you can't see what other people brought during a heist. If somebody drops in mid-game, they have no way of seeing what other people still have in their inventory. It is a constant reoccurring theme of limiting information available to the players in Payday 3, and I do not like it one bit. For example, while I'm controlling this camera here, look and see if you can tell me when I press the button to hack the camera to make it loop and stop detecting me. Are you ready? Any second now. Are you ready for it? Of course you're still ready for it, because I already did it as soon as the camera stopped rotating, and it's physically impossible to tell when operating the camera. Across the board, in terms of UI functionality, it's an objective downgrade from Payday 2 in every way. They made 10 years of improvements and iterations in that UI, and then just decided to undo all of them going into Payday 3. It is completely nonsensical. Changing gears to something a little bit more positive, the music is really, really good. A lot of the tracks bop. I find No Rest for the Wicked, 99 Boxes, and Golden Shark to have my favorite tracks. They're all high-energy tracks that suit the adrenaline-filled shootouts very well. No complaints about the soundtrack, love it, Gustavo, good work. However, I would like to see the jukebox feature come back. They told us it was intentionally omitted from Payday 3 because of the focus on story, with each track custom made to fit the heist. I think it would be better to let us have the choice. With only 8 heists, we need more variety in all aspects of the game, and music can easily be one if we weren't restricted. Now, moving on to progression, I'm not inherently opposed to leveling up weapons to unlock mods or leveling my character via challenges. However, those being the only avenue of leveling up completely strangles players. In the press event back in June, we were told that you don't need to focus on challenges to level up until roughly level 75 or 80. That's just simply false. All of us in RC hit a wall in the mid-40s and had to start prioritizing challenges. On the day I started writing this script, I played 4 heists and got 1 level total from the whole session. It was agonizing. I feel like I'm not getting anything done at all. This is all made worse by C-stacks. You need to use them to buy the final mods for guns, and later to also buy weapon slots. But you can only buy a certain number of C-stacks per week. These cap out after that, and then you need to wait. Why do I need to grind a weapon to level it up, and then also have to wait for artificial time-gated currencies? This is the kind of bullshit you see in mobile games, or games like Warframe or Destiny 2. The grind, the farming, and the chase for the loot is part of the identity of those games. Payday has never been anything like that, and the decision to go that way here just slows down progression even further for people like myself who just want to level up, equip their stuff, and get heisting. To look at some other positives, the gunplay and the movement are great. Mantling and sliding are both wonderful, and I was very happy they made it into the game. They just make movement feel so much more fluid and natural. Guns are usually pretty satisfying to shoot, barring 1 or 2 outliers, and I often enjoy myself in a shootout unless the severe lack of armor kicks in. Stealth is fantastic and much more fleshed out. Guard AI, location property designations, and the huge array of tools make stealth play feel smarter and smoother than ever before. It was okay in Payday 2, contrary to popular belief, it was fine, but it's actively great in Payday 3. Now for the big one, the one everybody's been talking about. The servers for Payday 3. The always online requirement. The game failed in this aspect. There are no 2 ways about it. The servers and the need for them failed the game and failed the community. People took time off work or paid close to $100 to play this game, and then it didn't work for 2 days. It still, at the time of recording this, isn't entirely stable. It went down again on day 4 as I was recording this. Sometimes you'll finish a heist and just get hit with a matchmaking error. At this time, Payday 3 has almost 21,000 reviews on Steam, and only 34% are positive. This game is tagged as overwhelmingly negative. My Steam review is among the negative ones. By announcing an always online live service game, you are asking your players to trust you. You are asking them to trust that you have a plan to keep the game fresh, and most importantly, functioning. From the second it was announced that Payday 3 was always online, the community asked Starbreeze what their plans would be and how it would be handled. We were met with silence or on rare occasions told to just trust that the game and servers would work. Launch day came, they didn't work. The day after, they didn't work. Day after that, and now today, on Sunday, they still don't work. This game's launch was a disaster. The trust evaporated in a single day. I don't know if the blame lies with the server hosting company, or with Starbreeze for hiring them, or just with both. All I know is that it was proven clear as day that the game didn't work and wasn't ready. The trust is hurt even more because we were told repeatedly that the removal of offline mode was necessary. It couldn't be in the game because we need it for crossplay and cross saves. But then you go in game and you can turn crossplay off. Beyond that, people have gone data mining, as they're wont to do. It's here. It's in the game, with a much better heist selection UI too. It isn't too clean, but people have been able to mod the game to a functioning state, playing it offline, using this mode as a framework. We were told the offline mode was never possible, but it's right there in the files everybody paid for, proof that it was worked on and almost finished. We just can't access it. Once again, I don't know who was responsible for this choice, but they've been caught with their pants down. Payday 3 quickly became a punching bag for Reddit, Steam, Twitter. The internet is laughing at the servers, and it is completely deserved. So, with all that said, that then brings us back to the original question. Is Payday 3 a worthy successor to Payday 2? No. Even if we assume the servers work, which is a major if, by the way, there's just too many other problems. The core game is super fun, but the UI and the progression just fight the player so much and make it as frustrating as possible to get to the good stuff. I can't in good faith recommend this game in its current state when Payday 2 already exists. Not because of the servers or the small amounts of content, but because Payday 3 is bogged down by a million tiny problems that Payday 2 just spent a decade solving. Payday 3 just isn't very good overall, and it breaks my heart. Now, I'm obviously going to keep tabs on this game, and probably continue playing a bit, so I'm going to commit to updating this review with a new video every 3 months. December 21st, March 31st, June 21st, and September 21st. A new video checking in on Payday 3 every few months leading up to the 1-year anniversary. We know DLC and updates are coming the whole way there. I believe this game could one day stand with or surpass Payday 2, but it needs so much work to get there. All that's left to do for now is wait and see if Starbreeze can escape the jaws of public failure and ridicule yet again, or if Payday 3's launch was just fumbled too bad for anybody to care. Until next time, don't forget to spread the happy and stay rusty.